I didn't scream. I didn't argue. I didn't ask questions. I just walked away. No explanations. No dramatic goodbye. She thought I'd stay, thought I'd fight, demand answers, maybe even beg her to choose me. She believed she still had control. But instead, I disappeared, vanished without a trace. And now she's the one chasing shadows, haunted by regret. But the man she once knew, he doesn't exist anymore. The signs had always been there, subtle but steady. The late nights that twisted into lazy excuses. The phone she clung to like it carried state secrets. The smile that used to feel like home slowly turning hollow. I noticed it all. I saw the shift. I felt the space growing between us. Still, I held on, choosing to believe in her more than the facts staring me in the face. I loved her, so I trusted her. Until one night, everything unraveled. She was in the shower, humming to herself. Unaware, her phone lit up next to me. I glanced at it without meaning to, and a message flashed across the screen like a bullet. Asterisk, I can't stop thinking about last night. When can I see you again? Asterisk, I didn't move. I didn't rage. I didn't burst into the bathroom, demanding an explanation. I sat there, motionless, letting the betrayal burn quietly through me like ice in my chest. That was the moment I chose. I chose not to beg, not to cling to someone who had already given herself away. She had already made her decision. I was just catching up to the truth. Later that night, as she lay asleep beside me, breathing deeply, wrapped in her dreams, maybe of us, or maybe just him, I rose without a sound. I didn't take the gift she gave me. I didn't rip down photos or leave her with angry notes. I left the memories where they belonged. Behind me, I packed lightly just the essentials. As I stood at the door one last time, there was a flicker of hesitation, not because I wanted to stay, but because I knew that this silence, the way I left without a word, would echo louder in her heart than anything I could say. Then I stepped into the night and didn't look back. By the time she stirred the next morning, I was already long gone. Maybe she stretched, checked her phone, smiled at a new message from him. Maybe she didn't notice right away. But eventually, she must have realized. The bed beside her was cold. The closet was half empty. The nightstand cleared. My keys gone. Panic doesn't crash all at once. It trickles in. I imagine she tried calling. Straight to voicemail. Tried again. Nothing. Then came the messages. Asterisk, where are you? What's going on? Why aren't you answering? Asterisk, and I gave her nothing. That's when the truth started to settle in her bones. I wasn't angry. I wasn't brooding or buying time. I was gone, not just from her apartment, but from her life. At first, she told herself it was temporary, that I needed space, that I'd come around. But as the days passed and the silence held firm, reality tore through her. Her text changed from demanding to pleading. Can we talk? Turn into just let me explain that I made a mistake. And finally, asterisk, I miss you. I miss us, asterisk. But I never answered. She tried to find me, through mutual friends, through familiar hangouts, through the digital breadcrumbs of a life we once shared. Asterisk, has he said anything? Do you know where he is? Asterisk, but they didn't. I had removed myself completely. No messages, no posts, no presence. I was a ghost in her story now. The more she searched, the heavier the truth became. She had lost me, fully, and now she was the one drowning, chasing someone she thought would always be there, only to find air where love used to be. But she didn't give up. She told herself that if she could just see me one more time, just once, maybe she could say the right thing and pull me back. And one evening, it happened. I was sitting in a quiet cafe, calm, steady, unbothered, coffee in hand, heart intact. I wasn't hiding. I wasn't hurting. I was simply free. Somewhere across the room, a door opened, and I heard a sharp breath. I looked up. There she was, frozen in place, like time had sucker punched her. Our eyes met. She had changed, but not like I had. I had grown stronger, centered. She looked like someone who had unraveled. The confident way she used to carry herself had wilted into uncertainty. That proud gaze was now laced with sorrow. She approached slowly, hesitating at every step. "It's you," she said, barely above a whisper. "I didn't think I'd ever see you again." I didn't flinch. No anger, no bitterness, just quiet. To me, this chapter had ended long ago. She pulled out the chair across from me and sat like it was the only thing keeping her upright. "Can we talk?" Her voice trembled. I sipped my coffee. "Talk about what?" Her breath caught. That wasn't the reaction she had practiced in her head. She probably imagined anger, tears, passion, anything but this calm indifference. And it hit her. I didn't miss her. I didn't need closure. I had already closed the book. "I've been trying to find you," she said softly. "I know." I nodded. Another sip. "You know." Her voice edged with disbelief. "Of course. I just didn't care." She blinked like the words physically hit her. Her mouth opened, then closed again. There were no clever responses, no second chances hidden in her silence. "I made a mistake," she whispered. "I thought I needed more. I was wrong." I leaned back. "So why are you here? Because you regret what you did? Or because the life you left me for wasn't what you imagined?" She didn't answer. She didn't have to. Her silence said everything. I gave a quiet laugh and shook my head. "That's what I thought." She reached across the table, her hand trembling, desperate to grasp something that no longer existed. "Please, just give me one more chance. I can fix this." I looked down at her hand, then up into her pleading eyes. "There's nothing left to fix." Tears welled up, barely held back. "So that's it?" she asked, voice cracking. "You're really done with me?" I stood calm, steady. I was done the moment I walked away. She stared at me, breaking in slow motion. She clung to the hope that finding me would unlock a door, but she never realized it had already closed behind her. She didn't move, just sat there, clinging to the edge of the table, like it might hold her together, her breath unsteady, her fingers twitching, her world crumbling piece by piece. She had told herself I'd return if she just said the right thing, but now she knew. There was nothing she could say, nothing she could offer. She had discarded me like I didn't matter, and now she was left holding nothing but echoes. "I don't know how to live with this," she whispered. I took one last look at the woman I had once loved deeply, and then, calm as ever, I said the final word she'd never forget. "Then maybe you shouldn't have let me go." Her body jerked like the sentence slapped her, but it was too late. I turned and walked out into the cool night. No glance back, no pause. She could chase me in her thoughts, drown in her regrets, replay every moment, but she would never reach me again. Once, she had the upper hand. Now it was mine. She sat alone for a long time after I was gone. Around her, life continued. Laughter, conversation, the clink of coffee cups. But she remained frozen in that one moment, staring at the empty seat across from her, tears sliding quietly down her face. Not just because she missed me, but because she missed who she was when she had me. And that version of herself, she had let that go, too. As for me, I walked into the night feeling weightless. No anger, no bitterness, just release. And that kind of closure, that's the kind of revenge no apology can ever undo. Some people don't regret losing you. They regret losing the life they had with you. And once you understand that difference, you'll never look back.